Hey everyone, this is Peter. I'm a product developer for ToonVidio, and I want to show you how to quickly create your first video using ToonVidio. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a blank project, which is going to start me off from scratch. So that created a project view for me with a blank scene, for which I'm going to go ahead and change the settings for here. I'm going to name it kitchen scene, so I know what I'm working on, and I'm going to change the duration of that scene to 5 seconds. All right, there we go. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a background to it. I'm going to select kitchen with no turkey. I'm just going to double click on that, and that's going to automatically set up my background. I'm also going to add a cook to my kitchen scene. Let's use female chef, perhaps being frustrated, and let's scale her up to the position where we want it. First thing I'm going to do is add a enter in animation for my chef. So I'm just going to select the character, click here on animation, and I'm going to select slide in with hand. So what that did, it created an effect. As you can see here on the timeline, there's a animation present. So when I play the animation, there's going to be a cutout of a hand, bringing in the chef on a hand, and she's frustrated. The next thing I'm going to do is have my cook walk from one side of the kitchen to another. So I'm just going to, just by selecting it, create an additional animation keyframe point here at 1 second. So I'm going to move ahead to second 2 on the timeline and say at second 2, I want my chef to be frustrated next to the fridge, and maybe I want to scale her up a little bit. So when I play the animation from the start, there she is being brought on by the hand, and then she walks over to the fridge and kicks the ball, and she's scaled up. So it's important to note that these keyframes are fully interactive, so if you want to manipulate them, you may do so. So if I select it and drag it, that's going to change the duration of that animation, so I can move it next to that previous keyframe so that that animation is much more quicker when she scales up. Additionally, you can select the individual keyframes and choose the easing on them. And of course, if you make a mistake at any point, you can quickly delete them from the animation. This white object represents the cook on the stage. So if I take the endpoint of the object and move it inwards, so let's say to 2 seconds, after 2 seconds, the cook is not going to be present on the stage anymore. So at 2 seconds, we can add another animation of that character. So let's say, let's go to characters and find the cook, which is going to bring in the female cook. And here we're going to have her presenting some food. So she was frustrated, and now she's going to present some food. Let's scale her up to size to match the previous one, and let's change her duration on the stage to last to the end. So as you will notice, all the objects which I've added are identified here on the timeline. So you can quickly select by the thumbnail, you can recognize which object you want to work on, so you can quickly select it and work on that particular object. Additionally, you have a drop-down menu here which identifies all the objects on the stage which you can select at that particular moment. Next thing I'm going to do is add another scene to my video. So I'm going to click on add scene below, and I'm going to name this scene restaurant, and I'm going to have it last for 4 seconds. Let's go ahead and create this scene. For this scene, we're going to do something a little bit different. Instead of choosing one of the backgrounds from the library, I'm going to go ahead and import my own file. I'm going to import image that I downloaded. So I'm going to go to import graphics and select the fancy restaurant image from here. I'm going to scale it up to match my size of the stage. And for the character this time, I'm going to import a 3D character. So I also have a 3D cook that can be in this restaurant, and let's have him be celebrating and raising hands because he's happy that he made a good meal for his diners. So there he is. I'm gonna select the handlebars which control the position and the size of the object on the stage. Additionally, with 3D objects, we introduce a new set of controls for rotation of that object. So I may rotate him on his y-axis, his x-axis, and his z-axis, as well as I can zoom him out and zoom him in if the need be. So let's place him somewhere around there. next to that table. Maybe zoom in just a little bit. There we go. That's perfect. So now that I played the animation, there he is next to the table. I'm gonna pause there and just gonna select him to create a point keyframe, and at second 2 I want to have him rotate. So this works exactly the same as for 2D characters. So there he's going to be rotating and raising his hands and celebrating. So we added a 3D asset to an imported 2D background image. You can do the same with imported videos or anything that you like. One more thing I would like to demonstrate is adding text to your scene. So I'm going to select text here from the menu, and I'm going to say something like grr, and change the font size of it, maybe to something a little bit larger, and select add text, and I can control that object just as any other object on the stage, position it, add animation style to it, etc. Also, I would like to demonstrate how to quickly add audio. So you are able to select from one of our music tracks or our sound effects and add them to the track. And additionally, you are able to record your voice narrating the video directly inside of the software. So if I hit record and talk, that's going to save out an audio file. So let's do that. Test, test, test. And once I hit record again, that's going to save out the file. Let's save it out. It already exists with that name. So I'm just going to overwrite it. That's going to encode it and save it. And now when I play it, test, 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 and now I can just add it to the track, and the voice narration is going to be in my video. So once I am ready to publish my video, I can change my timeline view to all scenes so I can see the outline of my entire project, how it looks. So that looks all right. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Publish, which is going to bring in the Publish screen, where I may change the settings for the export of the video. I may select to publish to my YouTube channel, which is going to ask me to verify once the video is done rendering. I may also export it as a GIF, which is nifty, so you can embed a portion of your video into your email. And I may also upload the video to our emotional recognition video survey, which is going to generate a URL that I can send out to my list so that they can view the video and I can get some feedback on how they are reacting emotionally to my video. For now, I'm just going to click on Publish, and that's going to go through. I'm going to save it out as a new project, .mp4, and I'm going to hit save, and that's going to render out my entire video and save it out onto my desktop. So that's a brief overview of how you make a video using the ToonVidio software. I hope you make some amazing stuff with it, and I really look forward to answering your questions. Thanks.